How do I actually know who I am? This search of who I am is keeping us busy a lot, actually. Yeah. Who should I be or who I am? And when we are on a spiritual search, then we find the answers in the godly realms. I'm spirit, I'm a child of the stars, star seeds, and we get in connection with layers of our existence, yeah, that are much, let me say, in the forms much different than when we live here on earth. So when we are going to look into the spiritual realm, who we are, then those answers can be by experience in meditations or inspirations, or you feel connected to it, you feel the truth in it, and it can be very comforting. It can be comforting, and it can also give you a certain safety. Yeah, that you know that you're not just this body, you're not just separate in this world. Yet, when we are coming some steps lower, and that means our daily life, like just the life that we live, and most of us, we still have a job that we are doing. People who are not very much impressed when we say we are star seeds. And then, who am I? Yeah, what is a representation of my knowing of who I am on a spiritual level? And that keeps us busy, and that makes us also sometimes insecure, because we have kind of ideas, how a person should be, calm and understanding and loving, and yet also setting boundaries, knowing what he wants and standing up for what is important, and all these kind of things. Yeah? So of what we have in our mind, how we should be. And we are looking for how to get a fit with our mind construction, and this is now important, with our mind construction of how a spiritual being would act on earth. But this is a mind concept. It is something that we think of, and that we, on that purpose, try to materialize, here. So to be that. And this is where we are actually going astray, and where confusion comes in, and where separation comes in, where we don't feel any more aligned and one with who we are. And when we cannot feel the wholeness within ourselves, it's very hard in daily life to feel the wholeness in the totality of life, and in our interactions, and in what otherwise happens, what other people do. And because we are thinking about how we should be, we try to make our mind concept come true, we separate. Who am I truly as a human being is something not to think about at all. It is ingrained in your nature. You are the perfect expression of that star seed, or of that godly expression. Yeah? And exactly who you are at this very moment is exactly how you should interact, what you should say, what you should do, what the moment asks you. Is that experience as you experience it, for yourself and also for others. So the least you think about who you should be and what can be a fit to your spiritual being, and to be so much aware that this is just a mind concept. It is what we humans think it should be. But the reality is who you are at this moment. That is exactly how you should be. And what you do at this moment is exactly the action lives ask you to contribute towards the total tapestry of life. And it is perfect. And once we are really grasping that we don't determine who we are, don't think about who you should be. Don't make a mind concept out of something so beautifully created, just because you are also contributing towards perhaps situations that cause pain. But this is to yourself and to others, yeah, that are not constructive in the way as you think it should be constructive. But how we develop and how we grow, we all contribute towards the total evolution of us. And we do it in the way that it is needed in a certain moment. And the least we think about it, and the most we can actually really accept and breathe in that as I am now is the perfect manifestation of that star seed, of that godly spirit that you are. You should not be different. That does not mean that you will not develop. Yeah, surely you do, but it's also an organic process. It's not something that we are actually really steer, yeah, that we can determine, that we can force, that we can mold ourselves into something that fits our mind concept. This total acceptance, this, not just this acceptance, to be really in sync with the wholeness of life, is when we dare to show up in life as we are at this moment, and not a mind projection of something holy or whatever you have in mind how you should be. Stop wanting to change and be just who you are. Start today to live in that truth. And this is just one of the 10 space-making truths that I'm offering in my process. It is a process. Yeah. And I'm really happy when you come tonight to the workshop that I'm giving and to have a taste of what it actually is.